And welcome back, everyone, to Box Office Report today on the 5th of May, 2024. I got it out for the end of the day. I got home early enough to do it. And the beauty of getting home late is you can drink in the evening instead of the day, and no one judges you. Mm. So, that being said, I did not get the box office right at all because I didn't know about the release of the Phantom Menace, nor did I think the Phantom Menace would be that big. But number one, Fall Guy with 28.5 million. No one's surprised it's number one. A little surprised it came in maybe that low, but no one's surprised it came in number one. The Phantom Menace came in at number two with a little over 8 million this week. We'll address it in a little bit. Challengers made her 7.6 million, dropping only 50%, not even. Taro debuts with 6.5 million, and Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire made her 4.5 million. Fall Guy, let's talk about that real quick. $28.5 million, another 36.9-ish internationally for 65.4. The film is made on, it's estimated between 150 and, 125 and 150, so average out to about 135, 140. Marketing, I don't know exactly what the marketing budget is on this. My guess is right around 50. It wasn't like it was undermarketed, but it was a lot of the same trailer a lot. So I'm going to guess between 50 and 75. If I highball it to 75, which is not an unreasonable thing to do, we're looking at 110. Or sorry, 210. If we're looking at more like 150, then we're looking at, say, 185-ish? 185, 190. So 28 million is not a good number for, like, I'm someone who always tries to see the bright side of things or tries to make excuses isn't the right word, but tries to meld the reality. That's not a good term either. I'm always someone who tries to turn it into something positive. 28 million on, even if I lowball it 25 million to the lowest number, is not enough. But it's only the opening weekend. We got a week. We got the second week, which is where the next big amount of money comes in, plus the following amount it makes domestically. It is a movie kind of unto itself in that there's nothing else within the action comedy genre that will be out really until Deadpool. So it does at least have that market. That being said, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Mad Max Furiosa, these are all films that will steal audience away from this film because they are all appealing to at least part of this demographic. However, and I didn't actually check what the Rotten Tomatoes is on it. My review for it's up. You can watch that if you want. I like the film. I had a good time. I have a feeling that even though this didn't open that strong, the word of mouth might be really good on this film. So what is the current box office on this? Let's find out. Box office. Rotten Tomatoes score. Let's see. So the following, 83%. That's a solid number. Anything, I mean, honestly, 60% or up is positive. 70 is good. 80 is great. And then 90 is best of all time kind of, ratings. But how do the audiences reacting to it as well? Let's find out. 87%. So yeah, overall the audiences are liking it, the critics are liking it, so everyone's liking it. That's good. So it's all going to be about repeat viewing. And luckily with the international, that could be small, that could be big, we just don't know. But that means it's a wild card number that we can maybe rely upon to help keep the, I'm not expecting this movie to gross $500,000. I'm not even expecting this movie to gross, say, 400, but 300-ish, I think, is definitely in the realm of possibility, and is a good enough number to say, hey, it made its money back. I'm not expecting a sequel to this either, but hey, look, I am completely all for returning these characters at some point if we do. But it was a good time. Why did it only open to 28.5? Honestly, I think, and I truly believe this, I think it might have been oversaturation. I think this trailer was just attached to so many films that people got tired of seeing it and therefore got completely burnt out on wanting to see it. No, I didn't have that experience. I was always enjoyed the trailers. I was always like, oh yeah, that's coming along a way. So yeah, but I can understand why someone could maybe get burnt out on it. That's my only rationale really behind why it just didn't do that well. Because otherwise, like this is the perfect kind of like just fun summer action movie. So I'm not exactly sure why it didn't really strike a chord with the audiences. I think the highest opening weekend this year is still Dune 2, if I'm not mistaken, at about 90-ish. Godzilla and Kong comes in like very close behind it. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, made 808 million dollars, 14.4 worldwide. Now look, in re-release, films very rarely are going to be making more than a couple million. Hell, the only examples I can think of on that would have been Avatar, which made like 50 million, but that was mostly because of China. Um, so very rarely are going to see anything make too much money, but 14 million worldwide. I looked at the overall worldwide. It actually jumped a spot in the overall worldwide from that. That's not small number. Like that, it earned enough to jump a spot in its all-time ranking. So the question simply becomes, why? Phantom Menace is not regarded as one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. In fact, it's actually regarded because the prequels are not that well loved or weren't. It's regarded relatively low, but it's still got a lot of highlights to it. Now, with the era we live in, with the sequels being very divisive, most people will agree that The Force Awakens is pretty good. The Last Jedi is very just split down the middle, and then most people will agree Rise of Skywalker isn't that great. In fact, most people don't even like it that much. Then you get into like the TV stuff with Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, uh, and season 3 of The Mandalorian, because season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. Uh, I think we're at a point where people kind of want to relive some of the glory of, as they say, Sith reservists to claim the original glory. Yeah, I think people just want to relive the hype they felt watching those movies on the big screen again and kind of get a little bit more for their buck a little bit. Kind of relive something that they enjoyed, or at least remember enjoying. So maybe that's why it kind of was able to claw and climb all the way to number 2. Who knows? Challengers made under 7.6 million this week, $52 million against a budget of $55 million. Needless to say, not doing well at the box office right now. Now, statistically speaking, it dropped less than 50%. That tells me that people liked the movie and went back to see it, along with the people who didn't see it the first week and went the second week. So that's what that tells me initially. Beyond that, it's really just I think the issue of the movie itself. It's not the type of movie that was going to garner a $300 million box office or anything like that. These films just don't do those kinds of numbers. At least not very often they don't. Rarely, once in a while, you might see something like that do that. Like Ford v Ferrari. But Ford v Ferrari is a very different movie than this. Either way, yeah, 52 million's not enough. I mean, honestly, against a $55 million budget, and you're looking at minimum probably like a $30 to $40 million marketing budget, you're looking at a film that has to hit at least $150, 150 million just to break even. And I do not see that movie doing this. Or I do not see this movie doing that. So, yeah. Tarot debuts with $6.5 million and a worldwide total of $10.2 million. Now, this is actually good because the movie is only made on $8 million. So right now, worldwide, it's made more than its budgeted amount. Now, it's, obviously, the theaters take, roughly speaking, a third of the cut. So you're looking at a film that's currently only made actually about $6 to $7 million. But you got to factor the marketing costs in there as well. Marketing costs probably weren't a lot. You're probably looking at only like 10 to 15 million at most. So if I'm to highball the number, you're looking at a film made on 23 million. So the film has to hit, roughly speaking, about 35 million to break even. The problem is it only opened on 6.5. This, I think, is the biggest problem with films like this. They get a decent reception. Even for their budget, they open well. But because they still opened so damn low, they can't recoup the money even for a very small amount. So it's unfortunate. Like, it was an interesting concept. I did want to see it, but things just change, and I couldn't go out to see it. And it is what it is. Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire made under 4.5 million. 546 million dollars worldwide right now. This is impressive because last week I said it was definitely crossing Godzilla 2014's number, which was 524, and it did that. But I said I didn't think it was going to catch Kong's 568. I don't know if I still think that now. Look, that's still another 22 million it has to make. They rounded up 21 million, because you're basically going to round it up with that. It's because it's six. It's basically 4.68, so round it up. 21 million, man. I mean, it's going to make a couple extra million over the next couple weekends. Like, probably between, I'd say it's probably got another 5 million domestically. So that means it needs to recoup about 16 million roughly internationally, which is actually doable, theoretically. We'll have to see exactly what the next week's numbers are going to be. That's the thing. Like, I didn't think I was going to see 546, but we did. Yeah, we have to see what it's going to look like. We really do, because it's conceivable, not entirely likely and not 100% guaranteed, but conceivable, it passes Kong Skull Island to be the highest grossing movie in the MonsterVerse franchise. And in which case, then, look, you got to ask yourself what went right here. Because if you total them all together, think about this for a second. If you actually total them all together, the MonsterVerse franchise, and I'm not lowballing it, but I'm giving a rough guess here. I'm roughballing it, if you will. But the MonsterVerse altogether is over, no joke, it's over a $2 billion franchise. Those are good. I mean, that's gross. That's before profit, all that. But yeah, so I am very curious to see if this film can actually cross the threshold and become the highest grossing film in the MonsterVerse franchise. If they can do that, I mean, look, it's already the most profitable of all of them because it's made on the lowest budget. So if it can do that, then God bless them. God bless them. Because I had a lot of fun with this film, and I would like to see more within this franchise. Civil War, which is made on about 50 million, 3.5 million. It's at 95 million. It's the 10th highest grossing film of the year so far worldwide. That's going to change very soon. But hey, it's look, it's not a movie that was designed for me. I can already tell you it was not. I've seen minor clips here or there of the film. I can already tell you I probably would not have enjoyed this film. But with that said, it doesn't seem to be doing that badly. The international certainly helped it out a lot. Let's see, at 95 million, the film's made on 50 million. Probably doesn't even have 50 million in marketing, though. You're probably looking more like 25 to 30. So you're looking at 80. You're looking at a film that needs to make 120. Doesn't have around 25 million. Not internationally, not domestically, that's for certain. But internationally, maybe. I couldn't say for certain, but maybe. Unsung Hero, it made another 3 million, 13.1 million. I have no idea what the film's made on. I couldn't find anything for that. Kung Fu Panda 4, another 2.4 million. One more time again. I was literally listening to that on my way home today. 520 million. So it's going to stay behind Godzilla vs. Kong. But just like Godzilla vs. Kong, for the longest time, this film has not had any competition at all. Now, that's going to change, not this coming week. Not this week, where we got Kingdom coming out, Kingdom Planet of the Apes. But with the following week with If, and then the following week after that with Garfield. Those are the nails in the Kung Fu Panda coffin, if you will. So, any extra money is really going to be pulling in. The bulk of it, what little you're going to get, will be coming in for this coming week. And then that's going to pretty much be. I mean, Kung Fu Panda is already out of the top 5 box office anyway. But it's whatever momentum it still has going is going to be done after this week. Because you're going to get It, which is going to be very family focused and very family friendly. And then you're going to get Garfield, which is going to be which is going to be the next successor in the animated films against Kung Fu Panda. So, but look, 520 again, just like with Godzilla and Kong, this is the lowest grossing. This is the lowest budgeted um, movie within the franchise, so it's really going to be it's made its money back in spades, really. Abigail, which is made on about $28 million, has currently made only about $34 million. Universal, one second. Universal not having the best year this year. I can't remember if there's I mean, to be fair, they did have Kung Fu Panda 4, so that's one. There is that, but I mean, compared to like Monkey Man, which didn't really do all that well. Luckily, low budget for Monkey Man, so it still was able to be okay. What else do we have? Anything else? I'm probably missing some things that came out from Universal. Fall Guy right now is struggling, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, and Abigail is kind of a dud, so we'll have to see how well the rest of the Universal's year is going. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire made a little over $1 million this week in 195. It is still pretty dead. It's not, no pun intended, but it's pretty dead. Unless it suddenly gets a big boost, like making an extra couple million next week, it's done. Or it gets a big international push. Who knows? Unfortunately, yeah. Again, I've said my piece on what I think went wrong with Ghostbusters. What do I think let me rephrase that. What do I think went wrong with Abigail? Because Abigail's just not making any money at this point. Again, I think marketing it was a good trailer, but they didn't do anything different with the trailer was the problem. When you're only showing the one trailer, it's hard to really get engaged when you're only seeing the one thing over and over again. That's why bigger budget movies get extra trailers so they can show off more of the movie. They can give you an idea what the movie's about, the tone, show off some stuff. If you only got the one trailer, well, then you can only do it so many times where people kind of get bored of it. Also, maybe people just are bored of vampires, too. Last Voyage of the Meter didn't do well at all at the box office. So I wonder if people are kind of tired of monsters like this, like at least the classic monsters. We haven't seen a werewolf movie in a while. So I mean like a in theaters werewolf movie, not like the what was it? That werewolf one. Apparently that's like Blackout or something like that, or guy blacks out, he's a werewolf or something like I don't know. But like seriously, like a big theater or like werewolf movie. We haven't seen that in a while. Definitely haven't seen a mummy movie in a while. I haven't seen a Frankenstein. Well, Lisa Frankenstein didn't do well at the box office. I mean, Ghosts and Spirits. I mean, but I think people may be just kind of done with monster movies, like iconic horror monster movies for right now. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe. I haven't seen anything that really says otherwise. Doom Part 2 made Ministry made a 1.6 million, 19.1. It is such a bomb, unfortunately, and it's a good film. Like I would go. I was about to say decent, but I think it's a good film. But it is what it is. It just didn't. Again, similar issue to the other ones. Just didn't really advertise it beyond that first trailer is the problem. And it deserved better. So I think marketing really needs to kind of be worked with a little bit here. Dune Part 2, another 785 grand, 708 million, so good for it. I mean, it's not going to cross 800, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe another push happens. Beyond that, there's really not much else to talk about. I mean, you got Monkey Man, which has made worldwide 33 million, which, to be fair, if I'm not mistaken, the budget's about 12 million. You're looking at 10 to 15 in terms of marketing, is my guess. So maybe 20 at most. If it's 20 at most, then this film definitely couldn't break even. But if it's like 10 to 15, like I think it is, it was close to breaking even. So it's not going to be that big of a loss. Other than that, though, there's really nothing else to talk about for the weekend box office. Everything else is pretty much just vapors in the wind at this point. But we got only one real big blockbuster coming out this week, and that's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I feel confident in saying that will be number one, just like I felt confident in Fall Guy was going to be number one, and I was right. I will not include. I don't like to include re-releases, but let me see. Is there any re-releases coming out right now in the terms of this next coming week? No. So I do not see the Phantom Menace re-release being there in the top five next week. I think they'll take. I think it will be gone because they don't really. Yeah. Oh no, the Mummy release was still around, but in the second week it dropped 86.9%. So yeah, I don't see it being in the top five. So yeah, I'll go Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, The Fall Guy. After that, uh, I guess Challengers. Then I'll go Godzilla and Kong because it's only dropping 37.7%. Although Kingdom's going to take a giant chunk out of that too. Then I'll go Taro. That's my thoughts from next week. I might not be right on that, to be fair, but we'll see if it happens. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Later.